Is up, everyone? So Chase Claypool traded to the Bears, okay, for a second round pick. What does this mean, for fantasy? What does this mean for dynasty? Um, he was traded for a second round pick, which, for the Bears pretty much is a early second round pick. There was news that the Packers were asked about Claypool as well and offered a second as well, but they felt that the Bears was going to be a better second round pick, so they wound up, decided to do the deal with the Bears. And the Bears needed a number one wide receiver. I mean, they've been looking, to get someone else other than Mooney, because Mooney is just not number one. Great wide receiver, but he's more set up to be like a wide receiver too. And so Fields needs, that number one guy, and now they're bringing in Claypool. Apparently they feel he can be that number one guy for them. So it's a good move for them. They definitely needed it. They definitely needed it. He's got another guy to throw the ball to, and maybe now that means they throw the ball more. Right? So I mean, what does it mean fantasy wise for this year? I mean, it's still early. I mean, Claypool still got to learn the playbook and everything. I think still he's in that wide receiver three range now. I mean, he was like a wide receiver four before. Now he's more into that wide receiver three range with some wide receiver two side. He's a different player than Mooney, so he's a different kind of route runner. He can go deep a lot more. So, you're looking for Claypool to actually have some of these big games, some of these deep balls as well. They can take some chances. So that'll be good for Fields as well, who has looked good past few games. So looking good the past few games for Fields. They've been throwing a little bit more, but maybe they haven't been throwing that much because they've just got shit receivers. They've got nobody else to throw the ball to. So, you can look at it that way. Well, but I mean, people's got to have at least a 20% target, or maybe more, especially in this kind of offense, if they're going to continue to run the ball like they have. Like I said, maybe this changes things a little bit. Maybe they do start throwing the ball a little bit more, but he can be a solid wide receiver three, going forward. I think it means more for dynasty really than redraft. Not much is gonna crazy change in redraft, but I mean for dynasty, they've got a nice young wide receiver, in Chase Claypool now that can go a long way, especially with Justin Fields. So in dynasty, I'm more excited about him in dynasty. Again, still kind of that wide receiver three, maybe wide receiver two upside. They can start throwing the ball a little bit more. So I think he is in a better position than he was in before, just on the Steelers. I mean, with Deontay and Pickens really kind of picking it up with Pickett, Claypool was kind of like odd man out. So there were talks about him, being traded beforehand. Might be a little difficult to try and go out and get Claypool right now. I wound up getting him a week ago for like a third round pick before really everything started stirring up. Especially in dynasty, sometimes you want to look for these wide receivers, these young wide receivers that were good but may not be in the best situation, or may be hurt, or in their contract where they've got one more year on the contract maybe, and the team that he's currently on could possibly trade him so they could get something out of him before he just kind of walks away. So kind of what I feel about Claypool. I mean, nothing crazy. This does not make him, a wide receiver one. No, he's a wide receiver one for the Bears. Yes, but again, he's kind of just stuck in that wide receiver three range. Got that wide receiver two upside, obviously. But excited for him. It's a better situation for him. He gets to be kind of, the guy, and we'll see how that works, going forward. But if you guys like this, like my input on it, just let me know in the comments, or let me know what you think, whether you agree, disagree. Let me know what you think about the Claypool situation now going to the Bears. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Appreciate y'all.